the people that come out to the computer science awards are
Yeah.
all the local businesses, and the people advising on the engineering faculty are all local
Yeah.
businesses that are pulling these students in and out and are partnering with researchers. And we get an BIF here that's enabling
Yeah.
those research grants and running breakthroughs.
And you got
It
here this
all
asset with the Planet
sort of
Hatch.
piles on. Yeah, we've
Yeah.
got lots of great. I mean, if you look at Planet Hatch's cohort of students and ideas, the majority of them have come out of UMD.
To me, I see it almost like Fredericton ends up being kind of a center of gravity. Like I live in Grand Bay, Westfield. So I've always lived in that area, in the St. John area. But I tend to be up here a lot. And why is that? I mean, that goes to the point. I'm up here a lot because, and I'm actually in this facility a lot.
Yeah.
I'm talking a lot with students that are here. Like my center of gravity still ends up being in Fredericton all the time, and that to me says something of why. I mean, it's, you know what I mean? Like I don't live here, but I still come here, right? Because the stuff's happening here. It doesn't mean that it's not also happening in the surrounding areas, and it has to. And I think, frankly, as a region, the only way we're going to lift us out into something big is that we have to do it as a region. But there are centers of gravity, and I'd say Fredericton is a very key center of gravity towards that.
What about growth plans? How do you plan to grow your business going forward, and how does Fredericton factor into that?
Well, what we're going to do is we have to create a presence for ourselves in the community. Like I said, so I started talking about Acreon. I said, we have one of the greatest university hockey teams ever, I think. So I said, at Acreon, I mean, you can't fire a television camera across the Aiken Center without seeing an Acreon logo on the ice, on the boards. We're sponsoring basketball tournaments. We sponsor runs, and we sponsor the Harvest Jazz and Blues. We're just in the community saying, everybody says give back to me. We actually just do. We never say it, we just do it.
I think the city sells itself pretty well. It's a beautiful place. It's a safe place. There's amenities of a city 3 times its size, without the traffic and all the junk that comes with the amenities. So
I take the product development team, take 3 or 4 of us. We have these little brainstorming sessions. What do? I pull the boat out, the dock downtown. We go down, get on the boat,
Nice.
float down the river.
Yeah.
In an
Think
afternoon,
differently, yeah.
there's nobody there, and you sit there and shoot the breeze about what you're going to do product-wise. And you come back, you dock the thing, go back to the office, finish out your day.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that in my mind.
Yep.
it's the beauty of a diversified economy in Fredericton too, because we're not just a government and academic town, and you know this. We have an IT base, but we also have an engineering base, and we also have there's enough biosciences, there's an arts and culture space, so there's enough flex that if you want to take a risk in the IT field, maybe you have a partner or a family member or a cousin who's got stability in a different sector. So being diversified gives us, I think, the ability to stick our neck out, because the whole economy does not pin on one employer or one sector.
Any one of us can sit down and talk about this vision, and that it's literally locking in that fast. And I think the power of, if you want to call it, citizen-driven change, because this is really what we're doing it as. We're not, Susan, myself, others, all of us in the room, we're driving this from a citizen level. We're not saying, beating up the poor folks and the politicians and the government and saying, you need to do this, and we're going to sit back and watch. We're saying, no, we're all stepping up. We're all going to step up. We're all going to act as citizens, not just taxpayers and voters, but as citizens. And we're all going to take a piece of this and make this change happen. And that's how we're going to do it. And so that's the culture that's formed here. And the time is right? It's spreading, because it's saying, people are saying, yes, we can't keep relying on old systems to make change, to change the culture. It's got to come from the grassroots, and it's going to come from the leaders, and that's going to spread out through the natural channels. But I think definitely within the technology space, and probably into the adjacent spaces, it's a abundance mentality. It's like we're able to share this stuff, because as we do, we grow the community, we grow the ecosystem, we have more employees to pick from, more want to come and move here, more want to stay here, they stick, and they do, they come, they stick, they stay, right? So.
Well, I know for us, we always ran our business from day one purely on integrity. It was always about do the right thing, run your business right, treat the people right, and everything else kind of sort of fall into place. And we've never ventured from that. So we don't have people coming to work for us to make a quick buck and leave. People come to work for us because they like to come and work for us. And you tend to build more organically that way. You don't build quickly. But you get longer term people who are more invested in what you're doing. They believe in your vision, and we're very much an open, flat structured organization, both of our companies. So that is not that common. outside of, areas like this. I mean, we spend a lot of times in other airports and other towns.
Oh, yeah.
And when you come back home, you think, this is kind of nice.
Refreshing.
It's refreshing to get back.
It's definitely the people and the processes and what I've invested in over the last 2.5 years, build up core competencies in a lot of key technology areas that you can't hire for today. If somebody said, I want a certified Amazon Cloud Architect, they can't find them. So it is the people and process.